Good morning, everyone. Am I audible? Just start typing your roll numbers meanwhile. Now, yesterday we have started Python, and we have seen some of the basics of Python. Now, in this session, uh, let us move further with the other topics. Now, let me first try to open the let me first share the screen, and we will practically see how Python works. Now here, are you able to see my desktop? Okay, fine. Now, I was telling about the Python idle editor, that when you install Python, uh, the idle will get installed with the Python. Now, let me just open up the idle part. So this is what the Python shell or the idle Python and idle editor will look like. Now, same thing, you can start from the command prompt. In the command prompt, if we just type Python on C drive, obviously path has to be set. So you will be getting the Python, the triple greater than symbols, which is a Python's shell. So this is about the command prompt, and this is about the idle. The idle editor, the idle, is suitable to perform uh, one statement by statement, or it's suitable for executing statement by statement. Now this, it will be fine if you just want to do some 10 plus 20 as the calculation, or some basic calculations, but it will not be suitable if you have a script or if you have a large program, because you cannot start typing each statement by statement and seeing the result. It has to be in some script, or it has to be in some form, so that the whole script or whole code can run at a time. Now, for doing this, there are several editors available. Several online editors also are available for doing that. So, but it would be better if you can, for this web programming subject, since we don't have much about the Python, we only have a few topics that need to be done as part of the syllabus. I prefer that you use the idle editor as well as write the script in a notepad. Now, for the purpose of demonstration, I mean, for convenience actually of demonstrating how Python works, or what we need to do in Python, I have PyCharm as the ID, and I will be, just let the PyCharm ID open. I'll be demonstrating or conducting this class using this PyCharm because it's much easier. It's an advanced ID actually for Python, and it's very much convenient for me to show you how things work. Now, just let me create a new file. Is the code visible, or should I increase the font size in PyCharm? Is the code visible, or should I increase the font size? Okay, no problem. Just let me create a new file, and then we will move on. Now, yesterday we had seen how to, what do you call, very basics of Python there. Now, let us move further. Now, before we like to see anything, let me show you some of the things, like declaring a variable. Let us use x as a variable here, which is also called as an object. Now, let me declare a variable x as 10, variable y as, let's say, 20, and then these are the two variables which we have defined. Suppose if we have done an operation x plus y, and the result will be stored in z using the assignment operator. And then we can use, for output, we can use print statement, and within parentheses we can pass. Now this is just a simple output. Now you don't have to use format specifiers, such and such things, like how we do it in C. It is just like how you use a println statement, system.out.println statement in Java. It is the same way we will be using print and then passing the argument. Now here the argument, if it is a variable, it will print the result which is stored in the variable. Or if it is what you call a string, if you pass a string, it will just display that string itself. Now here, let us execute this program. Now you can find the result at the bottom. What we have is the 30 as the result displayed. Now this thing, this was the plus operator. Now suppose, let us say that y is 3, and if I use over here divide operator, I would be getting the result as 3.33. Now, yesterday we talked about something about the double slash operator, which returns only the integer part. So now that this is 3.33, let us execute this program. It is only returning the integer part. So this is what is the basic of yesterday what we have talked about. Suppose this is 7, let's say. Now this is going to return again 3. Yeah, 7 divided by 3 is nothing but 2 point something. So it returns 2 as the integer. If it is divided by 2, 7 divided by 2, 3.5, then it will return 3 as the integer here. So this was the basics what we had. Now here the value of x and y what we are retrieving, these values are assigned in the program itself. Now usually the input has to come from the user. So to do that we can use, let us do addition itself over here. Now to do that, let us use a function known as input. Python has a function input. Within the function input, there are two variants here. The first one we'll see with the default argument, and then let us use input again. So whatever, when this function input runs, it will wait for user to input some value in the command prompt. So once the user inputs some text or some value, that will be stored in the variable x, and subsequently we are again calling input function. It will be stored in variable y. Now what we will do is we will just try to run this program. Now once we run this program, you can find that on the terminal below, it is waiting for user to enter something. Now we will not come to know what is happening, whether the program is stuck or it is waiting for the user to input. So what we will do is we will cancel this. There is another way in the same what you call input statement. Input statement will be taking one argument. It can be a string. Now I can use double quotes or I can use single quotes also for string, as we discussed yesterday. So when we use double quotes, let me say that enter value of x, and then semicolon, let me give that. Now here let me give enter value of what you call y. let's say semicolon. So we can use both in double quotes, we can use a string, or we can use a string in single quotes. Let us execute this program. Now, when we execute this program, here it is a little bit interactive. So you'll come to know that what is happening. So it says enter value for X. So this is much more convenient way. Let me enter 10 and just press the enter part, and then enter value for Y. Let us enter 20 and then just press the value for that. Now here you can see that you have what do you call the result as 10 and 20, because input function will always return an string value. It will always return a string value. Now this string value, obviously, when if it is string, plus operator will be concatenation part. If both the operands are string, then it will be a concatenation part. So if we have to do some integer addition or a floating point number, then obviously we need to convert this into int or float. So to do that, we have a function known as int. So I can just pass the whole input statement as an argument to the int function. So what happens is whatever this returns, the input function returns, obviously it has to be a string numerical returns, it will be converted into an integer. So let us try to do this. And remember, in Python, we don't use semicolon to end the statements. So whatever user enters will now be converted into integer for both X and Y. So let us compile this, not compile it, let us run this program, execute this program. Now suppose if I enter 10 and 20, you will be getting the result as what we call 30. So this is how the input can be taken from the user. Now the next thing is we will talk about what you call print. Now print, as I said, just you pass the what you call a variable or a string as an argument. It will be printed as it is. If it is a string, and it will be printed the value stored in the variable will be printed if the argument passed is a variable. Now here what we will do is we will see other aspects of the print statement or the output function or the so here if print is used without an argument, for example, if I say print Z and then again let me say print without any argument, and let me print again Z itself. Now when I execute this program, you can find that you will have this 20 is coming from the first print statement, and if you are not passing any argument, it will just print a new line. Not new line, it will just print a line there. And then the print Z, we have it, that is this is the output for that. So if you don't pass any argument, it will just print a blank line. Now the other so print can be used without any arguments as well. Now apart from, let me just remove this because every time I have to again enter the values here. So just let me make it as 10 comma 20. Now the other thing a print can be used is a print function can contain any number of arguments. For example, instead of just one argument, I can use X comma Y comma let's say Z. So using comma, we can pass any number of arguments in a print statement. So let us execute this program. You can find that X value is printed, Y value is printed, Z value printed. Now when you pass the arguments with comma and the number of multiple arguments with comma, by default a space will be added. By default a space will be added between the result. So if you have X comma Y comma Z, the values are 10, 20 and 30. So you will have 10 space 20 space 30 as the output. Now let us make this much better. I'll say the sum of and I'll just close this string, comma, x, I'll say and, comma, y, let's me say is z. So this is the first argument, which is a string that will print as it is. Then the value of x will be printed. Then the string and will be printed as it is. Then value of y will be printed. Then is will be printed as it is. And then the value of z will be printed. So once we execute this program, you can find that the sum of 10, and here there are two spaces coming up here because I have given a space. So let me just remove the space and then execute it. You can find the sum of, it has automatically provided a space here because of this comma. 10 and 20 is 30. So this is how the print statement can be used. Now there's other what do you call arguments within the print statement. Now these arguments, when we use these arguments, what have I mean there are two more two arguments which can be used within the print statement. Now here we are finding space that has been appended. Now instead of space, we you obviously space is a default thing which is appended here. Instead of space, suppose I want to have something else as a what do you call as the within, instead of space, I want to have something else in the output. So here there is an argument. I can use comma sep. It is known as separator. Now suppose if I want dash as the argument, or what do you call hyphen as the argument in the output. So I can use sep equal to and then assign a string. Now let us execute this program. Now you can find that instead of a default separator, that is space, I'm having a hyphen. Though this doesn't make sense, 10 hyphen 20 hyphen 30 doesn't make any sense. But this is what I'm trying to show is you can have, instead of space as a separator, you will be able to have a hyphen as the separator. If I use a comma here, we will be having comma as the separator. Now there is another argument, and obviously remember that this separator has to be used at the end of the arguments. So it's not like x, then I can have sep something, comma y, comma z. Always use separator at the end of the what do you call as the last argument. Now the next thing is there is another argument in for the print statement. Now this argument, print statement, what we have is end is the what do you call keyword that is used for this argument. Like sep, we have a end as the keyword. Now what is happening is, suppose if I use x and then print y and then print z. Suppose if I use this print x, print y and print z. Now let me run this program. What you find is the print statement has by default added a new line character. So each time print statement work, it will be printed, and the control goes to the next line. So new line character is by default added at the end of the output. So you can find everything is displayed on a different line. Now the end character, what do you call argument or the keyword, we can use to change the default new line character at the end of the output. So I can use x comma end, and this is also a string I can pass. Let us pass hyphen here. Let me pass hyphen. So let me pass not hyphen, let me pass plus itself. This would be much better. And let us execute this program. So once we execute this program, you can now find that prints this first print statement, x is printed, that is 10. Now it's the next what you call y is not printed on the next line, because the default end is not a new line, it is a plus. So instead of a new line character here, we have plus as the output. Now this plus, after this plus, the value of y is displayed, y. Now we are not using end for y. So that is why after y, a new line character is added and you have the output for the third print statement in the next line. So this is how we will be able to manipulate, use the end as the keyword. Suppose if I have comma over here, let us execute this program. Instead of plus, you get comma as the instead of new line character, you'll get comma as the character there. So this is how the various forms of print statement can be used. So this was all about input and output, are the very basics, basic of input and output from Python. Now we will move on to functions in Python. Now everyone knows that function is a block of a code. You write a function so that it can be called, repetitive code can be called again and again. And obviously, once we define a function will not execute until and unless we call that function. So let us now create a function here. Function in Python is created using def as the keyword. Def as the keyword. So let us use def as the keyword, def, and then let me say that my sum is the function name. So def followed by my sum as the function name. Now I'm not passing any arguments, just opening brackets and closing it, and then the body of the function. And in Java or C++, you start with curly brackets, but here it will start with a colon. It will start in Python, it will start with a colon. Now the next statement, or in curly brackets, whatever we write in Java or C++, the same way the body here, it is written in an indented fashion. That means there will be a tab with the inside the every statement of the function. So let us define x equal to 10 and y equal to 20. And let us have the same statement, z equal to x plus y. Let us print the value of z itself over here. So you can find that this is the keyword that has to be used to define functions, and this is the name. You can use any name for your function. This function is not taking any arguments, and then the function the statement, the body of the function starts from colon. Now, after colon, whatever you find here, all these statements which are indented with a tab, these forms a part of the function, or these statements form the body of the function. Now, so and we don't end it using a colon or a semicolon, like closing of the curly brackets. Whatever statements are intended forms a part of the body of the function. Now here, over here, let us assume that this is the function. That is the statements we have for the function. Now I can have another function, let's say print say sample. This is the output I'm printing. And then let us assume that we have other hello as the output. Sorry, p is small. Okay, output. Now these statements, they are not intended. So when they are not intended, this is not part of the your function. So these are separate statements. So the same file, what have we done is we have defined a function, and we have the other Python statements. So when I run this program, only this sample and hello will be displayed, because uh, these things, this print will not be displayed because this is part of a function and we have not called the function. So only these statements, since indented statement will be part of the function, and whatever are written after that will be a normal Python statements. So now let us call the function mySum. To call the function, we can just use the name of the function and then pass the parameters. Now here it doesn't contain any arguments. I mean, there are no parameters here. So I can just use mySum and open the brackets and close the brackets. Now let us execute this program. When we execute this program, you can find that 30 has been displayed, because now mySum is called. These statements are executed. When mySum is called, the control goes and executes the mySum function. This function, we have x10, y as 20, then the result is 30, which is stored in z. Z is printed. Now this function is not returning any value, remember that. This function, we just pass the control to that function, the function executed, 30 is printed because of the statement print z. So this function does not take any argument, it will not return any value. Now, to return some value, what we need to do is, we need to use return as the keyword, the last statement of the function. So return, let us return z. So now this function will take no arguments but return the value as z. So now let us execute this program. Now we have executed this program. This program worked fine, but the result is not displayed because we don't have a print statement here. We have a return statement. So this function was called, mySum function, which we have written was called, and this function executed, it returned the value. Now our purpose is to handle the return value over here. We can use directly print inside this print, we can call mySum. So once we execute this program, we can find the result 30 is displayed, because mySum now will return the value as whatever compute 30, and we are printing that. Now instead of doing this, we can also have a z variable here, and then we can have print z. We can have print z. Now let us execute this program. This also prints 30 value. Now what is happening is, the value over here, it is returned. This returned value is stored in variable z. We are trying to print whatever is stored in variable z. Now it is not that we have, if because there is z here, we are using z over here. We can use any other thing. Let's say a. It's a variable. Just have it stored the value which is returned by the sum. We execute, we get the same result. Now suppose if we use z over here, then this z and this z is not same. They are different. This z is a local variable which is defined within the function, and this z, it's actually a global variable for the main program. So that is why they both are different. They both are different here. Now and always remember, in Python, since it's a dynamically typed language, that is the value of the variable is decided when the type of the variable is decided when the value is assigned to that variable. So that is why no way we are declaring int of x or float of or double of y or something string of z. We simply use the variable and use the assignment operator, so that the variable is created as well as its type is dynamically assigned. Now this function has taken the computed and returned some value. Now let us pass some arguments. Here let us change this value to, let's say, not z, let us say w, and then we will print the value as w. Now what we will do is, instead of having 1020 over here fixed value, we will pass x comma y over here. So this function now, mySum, is taking two arguments. It has two parameters, and we can pass two arguments here, x comma y. Again, remember that since it's dynamically typed, we don't say int x comma int y. We simply say x comma y over here. So this function will take two arguments and will return the value. Now let us execute this this program without passing any arguments. Now you can find that there is an error which says I need two required arguments. So that means this function was what do you call this function x and y are the arguments of this function, and we are not passing any arguments here. Now let us pass in some arguments here, 10 comma 20 assume, and let us execute this program. Now you will get the correct result. So instead of 10 comma 20, let's say 10 comma 25, and execute this program, you get the result. So this function now takes an argument as well as return a value. So always remember that the body of the function will be indented part, and function after the parenthesis you should have a colon. Now this colon does not only define the body for the function, it also defines the body for what do you call iterative statements, as well as for the if conditions and control structures. So this is how your what do you call functions work. Now the next thing is about what do you call the conditional statements. Conditional statements are nothing but if and if else statements, and we have in Python what do you call the relational operators, that is less than equal to less than equal to greater than equal to and not equal to, and using these relational operators we will be able to have execute some statements based on these relational operators or based on these conditions. Now they are sometimes called as conditional statements or conditional controls. So these conditional controls are if else statements. Now remember, in Python there is no switch statement in Python. There is no switch statement in Python. And what do you call the same way when we look at what you call when we look at loops, you can find that there is no do while loop in Python. So let us now talk about the if statement. Now this if statement, let us say that x is let us assign the value as 10. Now if statement will start with the if keyword itself, and we should have a condition. Let us say the condition as if x is greater than, let's say, equal to 0, and then this also has to be what do you call the if statement, the has to use a colon at the end. If x greater than equal to 0, now there is no need to use brackets here for the condition. There is no need to use brackets for condition. X equal to x greater than equal to 0 colon, then we will have the body for the if statement. So if this is true, that is x greater than equal to 0, let us print positive. Let us print positive. Now let us execute the statement. You can see that positive is displayed because this is true. Now if you have brackets, okay, but there is no need for having brackets. Without brackets also it works. So we get the result as positive. Now suppose if this is minus 10, nothing is displayed because this statement is false. And within if block, you can have multiple statements here. All statement has to be indented if you are using that. Now else part is also there. If else also will end with a semicolon. You have to use a colon at the end. And then else we will print, if it is false, we will print negative. So this indented statement becomes a part of the if block. This indented statement becomes a part of the else block. Now let us try to execute this statement. Negative, because x is minus this one. And at the end, I will have a statement print. Let's just say hello. Let me just say hello. When I execute this, you are finding negative and then hello is printed over here. This is why is this? Is this because this print is also a part of the else block? For example, let us make it as plus 10. Now, if you see, this positive gets printed. After that, hello gets printed. Now, this hello is not part of if else block. This is not part of if else block. It is outside if else block. So this statement will execute whether if this condition is true or false. This statement will definitely execute. Now, how can you find that? Because if this is not indented, suppose if it is indented, then it becomes a part of the else block. So now if I execute, you will not be getting hello because it becomes a part of the else block. So always remember that indented part statements forms a block. So that you have to take care about that part. Now you can have multiple conditions. You can check multiple conditions. Now there is something in other programming languages like Java and C++, something known as else if. We have seen if and else. If condition is true, if part will get executed, else, that is condition is false, else part will get executed. Now there is something known as else if in Java and what do you call C++. The same way in Python you have something known as elif. We don't say else if, we say elif, E-L-I-F, elif. So here let us say elif, it's not else if, it is elif, and then we can have a condition if x less than, let's say less than 0, we will say, and we will make this condition greater than 0, this as less than 0 negative. Now we can have else, third condition, else we will print the value as, let's say 0, we will print the value as 0. Now let us execute this program. So what is happening now? This condition is true, so this part will get executed. If part will not get executed, else part will not get executed, and hello, because it's out of this one, definitely gets executed. Then suppose if it is minus 10, this part will not get executed. Sorry, this is false, so this will not get executed. This is true, this condition, so this gets executed, and this control comes out of the if elif structure, and then the hello statement is executed because this is outside the conditional structure. The same way, suppose if you have 0 here, and you will be getting 0 as printed because this condition is false, this will not get executed, this condition also false, this will not get executed, and finally the else part get executed. So this is what is the output, 0, and then the hello, which is outside statement, which is outside the loop, conditional statement that gets executed. Now in Python there are certain shortcut functions, statements also. Instead of using this way, we can just, if it is very simple, even and odd, suppose if you are trying to check even and odd, let us use a shortcut if statement. Let us use shorthand if statement. So here we can have if, let's say condition x modulus operator 2, if this is equal to 0, then colon, you can say print, let's say even. So when we execute this program, what happens is this condition is true. So in one line we have written this statement. So you say if this is true, obviously 10 mod 2 is 0. The remainder is 0. So this statement gets executed. In the same way, we have a shorthand if else statement. Suppose if this is not true, then what? Then something we have to print. That is else part we have to print, odd we have to print. So what shorthand if statement does is, we will have statement 1, that for example, we will have print even, if x mod 2 equal to 0. And then in the same statement, else print odd in same statement. So earlier you can see after that if condition colon, then this printf even statement should come, and then else colon, then print odd should come. Instead of that, we have a shortened if statement which says if the statement 1, this is what we have, print even as statement 1, if condition, else statement 2. Now here we cannot have multiple statements, just a single statement 2. So what this means is statement 1, this statement will get executed if the condition is true. Else, that is if the condition is false, statement 2, this statement will get executed. So this is known as shorthand if else statement. So when we execute this statement, you can find even here because 10 is there. So let me just make it as 1. So you can find odd getting displayed. So this is what is shorthand if statement, as well as if else statements. So these are the conditional statements. In the same way, we have loops also. We have something known as loops also, and in loops are iterative statements. Remember that there is no do while loop in Python. No do while loop. We have a for loop, we have a while loop. Now for loop works much what do you call in a very convenient way. We can use for loop. For loop works on sequences, and as well as we have while loop, which works the same way as your what do you call which works the same way as the as other programming languages. Now the time is 10:20, and I don't have time to start for loop and while loop to complete it, because for loop also, if I use start for loop, I have to explain so many things with respect to what do you call the range function, sequences, such and such things, and these loops we will take up after we take up the special structures which we have in Python, that is list, tuples, dictionaries, and sets. So there is no time in this session to what do you call start those loops and come back. Now what we are left out in third unit is list, tuples, dictionaries, sets, and loops with creating dynamic web pages, which is most important as part of the syllabus, that is creating dynamic web pages. Now here, so we will end this session here and then take up the other things later. Now we were given timetable till this weekend, and I suppose this is this week's last class for me for web program, and the others what do you call for other subjects, I think some of them have completed the syllabus, but we still have to complete, or we still have to look at the fifth unit and the part of this Python what I have talked just now. We have to do that. So I will be at least needing many more classes to complete this. and we were given timetable till this weekend to come, what do you call, as a temporary part setup arrangement. Now the next week you would be getting, I mean, depending upon the syllabus that has been left out or that has still has to be covered, since few of them subjects have completed the syllabus, uh, we will be having a different time. We will be coming up with a different timetable, and so based on that timetable, we will have the class next week. Uh, and the other thing is, I have so many people have joined the class now. That is classroom.google. You might have got the invites, and I mean, since last yesterday night, what I have seen, some 33 to 34 people have joined. The rest of the class still have to join that, what do you call, classroom. Now please inform your what do you call your colleagues or your friends to join the classroom, because the assessment part, internal assessment part, though we had that class test 1, we don't know when we will be having class test 2, but we have to have assignments as well as quizzes. So if you have people have seen the classroom or gone into the classroom, you can find that I have posted several what do you call, theoretical matter, as well as video lectures, as well as I am posting the online classes also over there. The recordings of this online classes, I'm posting it there, as well as there are other videos which I have created and hosted on the YouTube. That those videos are also, I mean, with regard to HTML or what do you call, servlets, JSP and all, regarding this web programming part, I have also posted there. Now, is my incognito what do you call, browser, Chrome browser, visible in the dark mode? Just anyone reply? Okay, okay, fine. Now, I mean, the people who have already gone through or registered in the classroom, you might, if you go inside that, you might. I'm just trying to log in to the classroom. Uh, Now, once I mean, few people might have gone into the classroom and have seen. Now, once you go into the classroom, I have posted several, what do you call, things. You can go to the class work, and inside that class work you can find the material there, what all I have uploaded. Please go through this material, especially the notes, or the not my notes, but the textbook material, reading material I have uploaded, which I have collected. What do you call? You have 4 or 5 books to refer in this subject. So I have extracted those chapters of those books, and then I have posted for your convenience. And then I have also posted OU question papers. Are you able to see this? The OU question papers. I have also posted OU question papers, the previous year's question papers, though the rest of the I mean, except the last year, other question papers also contain something related to web services. So whatever questions you find with respect to web services, or with respect to what do you call, SOA architecture, or I mean, anything with respect to web services, please ignore that. The rest of the syllabus was same, and only Python, Ajax, PHP was added last year. So only in the question paper of 2019 you will be finding those questions. Apart from that, the other question papers, you will only be finding questions about HTML, JavaScript, and servlets and JSP. The other are .NET questions also. You ignore them because you don't have in your syllabus, as well as some mail API, and all those things are not part of your syllabus, which will be there in the previous question papers. Now I have also posted the assignment. Remember this assignment, you mention you write it down. It should not be more than 1 page of answer for each question. 1 page means you can use 2 sides of an A4 size. Now if I'm saying not more than 1 page, don't use A3 size or your draft papers. Use A4 size papers, and then no answer should be more than 2 sides, 1 page long. There are 12 questions here for your assignment. Now the submission of this assignment, obviously you have to handwritten it. Each question you start it on a different page, take a photo, scan it, or take a photo and then upload it. Where should you upload it? You should do it online. So obviously we have not covered the PHP part, we have not covered the last 12, the 11th, 12th questions, as well as where is the 8th question, Python, also we have not covered right now. So whatever we have not covered right now, you can do it later. But the thing is here, it is not that all questions has been submitted at once. You can submit each question at separately. So first question, you can just write it on 2 sides of the page, take a photo and upload it. Second question, separately you can do it. So what all things except 8th, 11th and 12th, we have completed the other part. I have also, for the material for these the answers, you can find it in the materials which I have uploaded, unit by unit wise. Now how do you submit this? How do you submit this assignment? And there are several quizzes also I have added here. The several quizzes I have added. To submit the assignment, just go to the assignment. Let you click view assignment. In view assignment, that is, you go to the assignment assignment part, click view assignment over here, view assignment, and then start adding each file at a time. Start uploading each file. You can have multiple, if you have 3-4 questions, this one, do it each question separately, upload each question separately. Is it clear? So this is how, that is, you start adding this file, select it, drag and drop files here from your device and upload it. So once you upload it, it will say turn it in over here. So for example, if I assume that if I'm uploading a file, let's say this is the file, so some file I'm trying to upload it as an assignment, or let us take a PDF file, because once you scan it or once you make a photo, you can even upload images also. After taking the photographs, you can upload images, doesn't matter. Assume that this is the assignment I have. Once you're selecting this, just upload it and you will get the uploaded part over here. So upload it question by question, and then you will have turn in. You can just click turn in and just say turn in, and again you can upload other files also. If you unsubmit it, I will not be able to see what you have turned in. So this way, you can upload other files also. Start uploading one by one, or multiple pages you can upload. Now suppose if I say unsubmit, you will be having you will be able to add other things and then turn it in. So start uploading each this one file, and then finally once you have all your files, you just turn it in. If by mistake 3 files you might have turned in, you will not get an option here to add more files or more submitting more answers. So in that case, you just click unsubmit. Just click unsubmit and then add the other part and submit it. So this is how you will be submitting your assignments. Just do it as soon as possible because you are at home, you can complete that part. Now the other thing is with respect to the quizzes. In the classwork, I also have put up quizzes. Now this is the quiz. Just click this quiz. Let's say quiz 2. This is the quiz. View assignment, I mean, it says assignment. You can click this one or you can click view this one, and then you will have this part. Just if you say mark done, doesn't matter. It will not be completed. Just click this. Form will be opened. Try to type. You have to obviously logged in with MJ College domain, and then type your roll number and type your name, and then start submitting. I mean, selecting your options, and finally click submit button. I will be getting the response back. So this is how you people try to complete the quizzes as well as the assignment. Is it fine? Now, if there are any extra classes or something that has to be communicated to you, I will do it through Classroom, as well as I will put up a message on the what do you call your WhatsApp group. And let us wait for the new timetable to come up. Then we will start the continue further with the what do you call with this material of completing the syllabus. Now if a new timetable doesn't come up and all, I'll post up a message and we will decide a convenient time, and then we will come. We will take up the continue with the online classes to complete your syllabus. So thank you very much for this.
Hello. Excuse me, sir.
Hello.
Hello. Excuse me, sir. Sir, can we
Yes.
have internal one papers like the
Internal
marks?
marks. I think I have already posted and given it to the class teacher. They might have already posted. Is it not?
No, no, sir.
No, no problem. I will just post the on the classroom itself. I'll post that what do you call Excel sheet.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, and I will only be able to post the marks. I don't have papers with me. Obviously, you will be able to see it once the college opens. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Welcome. You're welcome. Welcome. So thank you very much. I have exceeded this class 4 or 5 minutes more. We will join later once the new timetable comes up. Thank you very much.